Buenas tardes, señor Rejectos. I don't know what I said.
You said good afternoon, Mr. Rejectos.
Sounds like what I was going for. We're going to watch from watchmojo.com.
Ooh.
Another top 10 underrated actors. So this is a top reward tier video request from loyal patron Jack Cameron Franchot. He requested top 10 underrated male actors last month, but that video is from a few years ago. This video is actually just from 2019. With the Golden Globes recently happening, I don't know how that links. Let's watch it.
We've said it before and we'll say it again.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
actors just
Yes.
don't get the respect they deserve. Welcome to Watch Mojo.
Like Jodie.
and
Yes.
today We're counting down our picks for
I love this
another
list
top
already.
10 underrated male actors.
And they must come. For at this moment,
Forrest Whitaker is heavily underrated. Just a joke. I know it's Jimon Hans.
Speaking of male actors who, despite being easily recognizable, are consistently overlooked and rarely get time in the
Yeah.
spotlight, despite proving
Oh,
their on-screen
Jimmy
Simpson,
worth
yeah.
time and time again. If you don't see a name on this list you expected, be sure to check out the original video.
From a few years ago.
It's the one that was in the typewriter in the beach. I know. I was there. It's not.
He was in The Last Jedi.
Boys, I think we can all agree you both wrote the same book.
No, we didn't.
Number 10, Jimon Hunsu. His Guardians of the Galaxy character may have had no clue who Star-Lord was,
But we know who you are.
Oh,
but
yeah.
audience
We
members
know.
likely recognized his face, even if they couldn't put a name to it. This Beninese-American actor has been wowing cinema-goers across the globe since landing his first prominent role
Oh shit, she was Elijah Forrest in that movie?
Damn.
drama Amistad, for which he received a Golden Globe nomination.
what was?
Wasn't he also nominated for Blood Diamond?
I think he may have gotten a supporting actor nod for that.
Since then, he's delivered scene-stealing performances in many films, including Gladiator and Blood Diamond, the latter of which earned him an Academy Award nomination in the category of Best Supporting
Yeah.
Actor. With acting chops like this, he certainly deserves a spot on the A-list.
He's in A Quiet Place
Number
too.
9, Charlton Copley.
Yes. Thank
Hard to
you.
believe, but this South African actor was a complete unknown before making his big screen debut as the central character in Neil Blomkamp's critically lauded sci-fi flick District 9.
Is it?
Having only appeared in 2 short films prior to this role, Copley earned himself a fair amount of praise. Since then, he's enjoyed a relatively successful career in the industry, continuing to collaborate with Blomkamp on films like Elysium and
Reject.
Charlie, as well as landing credits in action-oriented flicks such as The
Ah.
A-Team, Hardcore Henry, and
Maleficent.
That's right.
Though he shines in pretty much every movie, Copley could quickly
Hardcore
earn
Henry,
himself
man.
one reclaim
Oh,
with just
Hardcore
2
Henry.
character-driven roles. Number 8, Armie Hammer. Some have said that Hammer doesn't have that leading
I think
man
I'd put him
X
number
factor.
10.
The argument is made that he simply had really bad
I'll meet you there.
He's pretty known.
We'll provide all the
He's a known actor.
After playing both Winklevoss twins in David Fincher's The Social Network, he went from relatively unknown to up-and-coming Hollywood hunk. A supporting role in the J. Edgar Hoover biopic soon followed, for which he was nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Award. Unfortunately, his transition to leading man hasn't gone as smoothly. The Lone Ranger was a calamity, while The Man from U.N.C.L.E. failed to make much of an impact.
Call Me By Your Name
Fortunately,
sucked,
Hammer would come
right?
firing back with one of his best performances
The
in
Peach.
Call Me By Your
I
Name.
love this movie.
I'm sick. Or am
I really love this movie.
I wish everybody was as sick as you.
Number 7, Michael
Yeah.
Caine.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
While you may be unfamiliar with this American actor by name, you've surely encountered his impressive body of work, which includes roles in films such as The Road, Gone Baby Gone, Inherent Vice, and 12 Years a Slave. Though his filmography is impressive, he's best known for his turn as Omar Little, arguably one of the
Wire,
most
yeah.
discussed characters in television history, on the influential HBO series The Wire.
Yeah. She stands alone.
Michael K. Williams falls into a similar category as Paul Giamatti and the late Philip Seymour Hoffman in the sense that he's an actor's actor, a man who's made a career as a brilliant supporting actor, but has yet to become a conventional leading man. Number
Yeah.
6, Andy Serkis. In the film industry,
I give it to you.
much is subjective, but Andy Serkis
I give it
is,
to you.
without argument, the best in the business at what he does. Though his flesh and blood performances are consistently high caliber, his real film legacy will be the fact that he essentially created his own school of acting with his pioneering work in motion capture performance technique.
Snoke. Kong.
Andy Serkis
Cesar.
played Gollum in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and Caesar in the rebooted Planet of the Apes franchise.
Oh, Caesar, I love you.
There have been numerous campaigns to get him an Oscar nomination, and it's easy to understand why. His mocap performances in non-human roles have been nothing short of astounding. Number 5,
They
Justin
didn't, they
Theroux.
didn't mention some other big mocap roles.
Shut up, whatever you don't like. Shut up. What is there? War.
Handsome and charming, American actor and screenwriter really should be appreciated for his acting talent above all else.
Leftovers, yeah. Zoolander 2.
And the first one. It's the evil DJ.
Though he's yet to earn the widespread credit and attention he so rightfully deserves, those already in the know will tell you. Theroux is a force to be reckoned with.
Capoeira, the beautiful form of Afro-Brazilian.
Like how they keep cutting it.
It's also a devastating
Wanderlust.
form of self-defense. Let's dance, brother.
Capable of delivering performances of a comedic or dramatic nature, Theroux is a versatile man whose talent is perhaps most obvious in The Leftovers, an HBO drama that explored life in the town of Mapleton, New York, after 2% of the world's population has suddenly and inexplicably disappeared.
God, I really gotta
Number
watch this
4,
shit.
Jimmy Simpson.
Oh yeah.
He's one of those
Master
faces
creep.
you've known for decades, but couldn't for the life of you put a name to.
Where's your brother, dude?
We just stepped out of the shower. He'll be down in a minute.
All right, listen. You guys can't go.
We.
Did you just say we?
yeah.
Did you just say we just stepped out of the shower?
I said he.
In fact, before his role in Westworld, you may have known him best as Liam McCoy, his recurring creepy guest character on the series It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
He's really great at Westworld,
Despite
too.
being perhaps the
He's
most
great.
obscure actor on our list, known primarily for bit parts, Simpson consistently turns in unforgettable performances, be it as Gavin Orsay on House of Cards, or as Lyle the intern on Late Show with David Letterman.
College kid? Where'd you go to school?
School of life.
Right.
His role on Westworld
I didn't know
is,
about that.
frankly, long overdue. Number 3, Michael Shannon. Some actors are just so unbelievably consistent, and yet, despite countless roles in indie flicks and blockbusters, never see themselves become household names.
What?
Oh.
Frank? You get cold feet? You decide we're better off here after all?
Widely respected in the industry, Michael Shannon is the sort of actor that every film enthusiast is happy to hear being cast in a role.
Hell yeah.
Because it means the character is going to be done justice.
Geez, be used to it by now.
For casual cinemagoers, on the other hand, he's a familiar face, but one whose name they rarely read about, and by extension, never manage to remember.
What you got to say about this man's wife?
He's also on the Boardwalk Empire show.
Never seen him before in my life.
He's received numerous
And then The
nominations
Night
for his
Before.
roles in films such as Revolutionary Road,
Yeah.
Nocturnal Animals, and 99 Homes. But it's high time the public started paying more attention to.
And General
Number
Zod,
2, John C.
Superman.
Reilly.
Yes, yeah.
Though his comedic abilities may have been what earned him mainstream success, embracing them has seemingly cost him credibility.
I get
as a
qualms with
cinema
what you mean by underrated.
And that's too bad, because this man is seriously talented.
You want to take it from the top?
Yeah, that's true.
He will rock you. And he will roll you.
In the late 90s and early 2000s, he turned in stellar performances in films including Boogie Nights, Magnolia, The Perfect Storm, Gangs of New York, The Aviator, and Chicago, the latter of which earned him an Academy Award nomination.
You know when folks start into saying to where the country's going to hell, I always tell them, we just look at all the hard work our fine young lads is doing down in the 5 Pints.
He was quickly becoming one of the great character actors of his age. And then
Dewey
he
Cox,
started
man.
consolidating
Come on.
Shake and bake.
Soon John C. Reilly
Dewey
became
Cox is the
synonymous
best.
with comedy first and foremost.
Imagine
I
Jesus.
like to think of Jesus like with giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with like an angel band.
Funny though he may be, this actor
Crafty
is so
Badger.
much more. Can you believe that the guy who was in Step Brothers also had a role in Gangs of New York? Mind-blowing. Before we unveil our most underrated top pick, here are some more than worthy honorable mentions.
Eddie, I know you're not excited to leave DC, but you're gonna love Orlando. I've been there for 6 months setting up the restaurant, and I've grown to love it like the daughter we wished Evan had been.
We are all profoundly
Bruce Greenwood, yeah,
Greenwood,
definitely.
yeah.
this verdict.
How come I haven't heard Richard Jenkins
And
Dude.
or
prosecution that this was
the guy from Watchmen that I love, whose name I keep forgetting?
The show or the movie?
The show. God, glass face. Not glass face. What is his name?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know his
Tim
name?
Blake Nelson.
Yes. How's Tim Blake Nelson not on this list? He better be number
You
one.
said you liked the gig.
That's not
So
okay.
you
That's
have any qualms if I ate the gift receipt and it didn't exist anymore, right, Rick? Right, Melissa?
I don't have any qualms. You can eat it if you like.
Awesome. Down the hatch. Bon appetit.
That was more of that guy scene.
Freak accident or something. I mean,
Keith Stanfield is a great actor.
90. I think about it all the time. Like, what I've done that matters.
I didn't wish me when I die, be surrounded by people who love me. Who I love back.
But what about when they die?
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Number 1, Ben Foster.
Huh?
From humble beginnings as a
Okay.
teenage television actor, Ben Foster has grown into a talented, albeit criminally underrated mature performer. Though he never made the transition to heartthrob, leading man, or A-lister, this versatile thespian has worked diligently in the industry.
Oh, what a
turning in one
compliment.
convincing heartfelt
Thespian,
performance after
versatile,
another,
thespian.
But rarely in blockbusters. Though he's been flying under the
He was
radar for
Angel.
most of his career, his resume
He's usually a
speaks
bad
for
guy.
itself.
Yeah.
Get to the casino, chance money like a plan. It's a good plan. It worked. Every step of the way.
He does transform shit. Yeah, this is good. It's good.
Nominations for his
Good number
roles
one.
in films
He's very underrated.
The Messenger,
Oh,
and
he's
Hell or
awful in
High
that
Water.
movie. Good awful.
This one tough son of a bitch.
Why has he never gotten the attention he so rightfully deserves? Tough to say, but it's high time that changed.
Ah.
Check out this other recent clip from watchmojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Tim Blake Nelson should be on this list. John, I'm going to name off some faces. You fill in the names.
Okay. Oh,
Okay, the sheriff in Watchmen. He's the Jamie Lee Curtis's husband in Knives Out.
Don Johnson.
Don Johnson should definitely be on this list.
He is a great actor.
Um,
And he's had a resurgence, too.
He can command a screen with so much charisma.
Mm.
And he can do comedy and drama. Richard Jenkins. Did I ever say that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying it again. I
I'll
don't know.
name his name, though, Richard Jenkins.
Richard Jenkins
Yeah.
should definitely
Of
be on
Richard
this list.
Jenkins
Why-
fame.
I don't know why he's not on this list.
Mm-hmm.
When it started off, I'm like, yeah, definitely underrated. And then other ones were like, well, they're famous. I guess maybe there's an argument they should get more proper leading man roles.
For some of these, I was like, are they not being as respected for their, like, dramatic chops as they ought to be? Like, John C. Reilly made me think of that. It's like, maybe a
Yeah.
lot of the mainstream knows him from comedy stuff because more recently that's been more of what he's doing. But if you look deeper into his career, he's had a whole bunch of character roles.
Well, he's never quite had a strong leading man role. I think Walk Hard has definitely become something of a cult comedy classic.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, but when it initially came out, it was a major flop. But I love that movie. That's one of my favorite comedies of all
adore
time.
that
So I think that's one of the most. I think whenever people ask me like underrated movies, I tend to go to Walk Hard as one of the most underrated movies.
I quote that movie, like, on the weekly.
It's so hilarious. Jimon Hansu is a great pick.
Yeah.
Fantastic pick. He's someone who should definitely be getting more leading man roles. It bums me out when I see him in like the big movies. Because I remember when we like covered a Quiet Place 2 trailer, you even made a comment of, I hope he has a real role. Because normally he just gets put to waste. All the Marvel movies, and even in Shazam,
Even
I'm like,
Fast and the Furious.
yeah, exactly. But then you see movies like the movies listed here, Homicide, Gladiator, Blood Diamond. He's incredible. He's an incredible actor. Good luck surviving the apocalypse in A Quiet Place.
I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Just yelling at people all the time.
Don't die first.
Charlton Copley is one of the most underrated actors. Hardcore Henry, he played so many different characters. And again, an actor who can bounce between comedy and drama like nobody's business.
Yeah, and really disappear into characters and really be a different personality every time.
Yeah, the mannerisms, the body language, everything about him. Charlton Copley, so sexy.
Yeah,
so sexy.
We need more of him. They brought up Andy Serkis too, and I mean, like, props to him because everybody goes straight to Andy Serkis for mocap, but like Chappie is a pretty great physical performance too. So like, just to credit his physicality.
John, we are like 2 people on the planet who like Chappie.
Hey, we got to keep that torch alive.
Yeah,
it's
soon
gonna.
there will be
a cult status soon, and everyone's gonna be like, "Where's those Chappie screenings? Let's revive Chappie."
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not. Not the biggest Armie Hammer fan.
I'm not like a big Armie Hammer fan, but I think he's a good actor.
I think he's fun and charming, but I've never quite seen a role where I'm like, that's a man who deserves more work.
Yeah. I'm always pleasantly surprised to see him places. Like, I liked him in Sorry to Bother You.
Exactly. I like his smaller roles more. Call Me By Your Name, everyone raves about Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Even though it's both of their movie. They even rave about Timothy Chalamet's dad in that movie. Michael Stuhlbarg?
Stuhlbarg, yeah.
I think it's because he came onto the scene with The Social Network and everyone was like, he played twins so well.
Holy crap.
There's a classical quality about him, like kind of like from an earlier era.
He does have like a classically handsome leading. Like, I get why he got to be the Lone Ranger, even though it didn't work out.
There's something about him that doesn't feel as versatile as pretty much every other actor on this list.
That's one thing, yeah. It's like, I would love to see Armie Hammer really stretch his legs out. Like, I thought his role in Sorry to Bother You was nice and kooky, but not without his realm that I'm used to. So yeah, it would be cool to see him disappear some.
Michael K. Williams.
Oh, yeah.
This video covered it. Amen. Yeah. He should be higher up on the list, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because of The Wire.
That's like one of the most beloved TV shows of all time.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people forget. People credit The Sopranos, but then people who are like real, TV files or whatever the hell you call them.
HBO files.
Yeah. They're like, but it's The Wire.
Yeah.
It's The Wire.
Yeah. Well, and I know very little about The Wire, I'm ashamed to say, but Omar is like the thing I know about The Wire.
I think Andy Serkis is a highly underrated actor for sure. We don't realize how he's in pretty much every major franchise. He's in Marvel, MCU.
Yeah.
He's in Lord of the Rings. He's in Star Wars. He took on King Kong, and there's Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about Andy Serkis too is there's so much great mocap work, but I also think he's a great actor when he just shows up physically on screen.
Like, the one that felt the most human was Snoke to me. That's not something that I would think would get an Oscar nomination, but I rewatched The Last Jedi last month, and I'm like, damn, Andy Serkis kills it in this role. Arguably could be a role that's like under makeup because it's so human. Unlike the other roles that he plays, which feel more like, animalistic to it.
Very much creature. Yeah, totally.
Justin Theroux. He is actually a tour de force of a talent.
Yeah.
Writes, directs, acts, and I feel like a lot of people... Yeah, you know what? A lot of people don't really give him the credit he deserves.
I feel like he's a name that would fly over a lot of people's heads, and then once you start filling in the credits, they'll start to go, oh. He's spanned across so many genres, too. I mean, like, he's in Mulholland Drive, like, with surreal David Lynch. He's the kooky DJ in Zoolander, and then everything between.
He's another actor who can transform. Oh, you know who else? Wes Bentley is another actor.
Ooh.
I feel like a lot of the actors from American Horror Story are very underrated.
Okay.
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters is great.
To me, is the next when Johnny Depp was great. Like,
I feel
the
like
next Johnny Depp, and I think Wes Bentley is another fantastic actor too.
Sans a couple people, I feel like American Horror Story is kind of like underrated actors. The show,
Absolutely.
Took them and then made them highly rated actors. Yeah,
Jimmy Simpson, he is so great. Every single time I watch him, I forget about the other roles I've seen him in that I think he can only do this kind of role. So I watch him in It's Always Sunny, and I'm like, okay, I can only see him as this. Watch him in Westworld, I can only see him as this. That I forget, oh yeah, wait a minute, he's done like a wide variety of performances. I didn't even know about that David Letterman one.
No, I didn't either. And I love that too when there's not really much of that in this list, but those ones that even break outside the traditional narrative format and they just show up to do like a kooky live bit like
Yeah.
that. You know, that's also a different talent of it in and of itself.
If Michael Shannon busted onto the scene in like the 70s, I think he'd be a superstar.
Oh, he would.
He would be
He
up
would
there
lead
with like
so
the
many cop
Pacino,
movies.
Dustin Hoffmans. He would be up there with them. I think it's just because of, you know, the celebrities that we put front and center who are based more on personality and who can get a really hot bod. You know?
Yeah.
Michael Shannon, though, is that actor who, if he came out in the 70s, a New York actor, he would totally just be super famous. And he's funny as fuck, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen his interviews. He randomly was on David Letterman last minute to fill in for someone. He's so weird. And then there's a Hollywood Reporter Variety that does the actors on actors, where like just the two actors talk to each other, and it's him and Adam Driver, and it's like an experiment in never breaking. Like, they're so straightforward and dry and never smile. It's really awkward to watch, but it's like a whole 40 minutes of them just being that way, and I love it.
Is there an irony to it, or are they just really serious?
No, there's an irony to it. Like,
Okay.
I've seen them in other interviews and know they crack smiles and they laugh, but it's you pick up on it a while. Like, they probably made some note beforehand.
It seems like he does get a lot of work in period pieces.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that goes to support your point that much more.
I think Ben Foster probably hasn't broken out because his most memorable roles tend to be the villain roles. I mean, just look at what they showed you. Like 310 to Yuma, Hell or High Water, where he's got like makeup on and he is usually the transformation actors take a lot longer to break onto the scene. Gary Oldman, for example, who used to play a lot of villains. Ben Foster as a hero.
He was
X-Men,
Angel.
X-Men. That's all I got.
His perfect posture and his big angel wings.
He's got such
and
a
his
naturally
teenage-
weird, creepy thing about him, though.
Yeah,
I think
he
that's why
looked-
it's easier to accept him.
He looked like a quiet kid who might snap
Yeah.
in that movie. But yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason he hasn't, exploded onto the scene in terms of leading man roles. But yeah, he is a very underrated actor for sure.
Yeah, there's something about the way he just embodies mannerisms that almost reminds me of like a Tom Hardy, but in a less marketably Tom Hardy way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would say Guy Pearce too is a good one.
Guy Pearce. He just played Scrooge. He was great.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
in
awesome.
the FX version.
Oh,
which
like a
Andy
scary one?
Serkis is also in as the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Bruce Greenwood is a great pick.
Yeah, he's been killing it forever.
Well,
you know?
he's one of those actors too that when a director works with him, they seem to want to keep working with him in like future projects. Like I gotta support this by one statement. Mike Flanagan. Like, he's put him in Gerald's Game. He has a role in Dr. Sleep. Oh, who's the dad in Haunting a Hill House?
Oh, wait, which dad? Do you mean Gabriel? No, what? Shit.
The old version.
I want to say Gabriel Byrne, but it's not. It's
but Gabriel Byrne's a good one.
Gabriel Byrne's good.
Gabriel Byrne's good.
You know who's underrated also is the young dad. Both dads in Haunting of Hill.
Yeah, they're both
Damn,
good.
I know his name and I can't pull either of them to mind. One was Elliot in E.T. and the other one, Timothy Hutton. There you
Timothy
go.
Hutton.
Timothy
yes.
Hutton and then Elliot from E.T.
That's Elliot from E.T.
Yeah, right? I had no idea.
Oh, damn.
And they're a great match for each other, too. Like, yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, it was a cool list. I like this more than the other one.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's more up to date. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, who do you think's an underrated male actor that deserves to be on this list? Cameron French, I hope you request next month for the females or little boy actors.
The most underrated little boy actors.
This list is 10 years old. They're all adults. What is this crap?
None of these are boys anymore. This boy did 20 credits.
Thank you so much for being here. If you liked our video, you know the things that people say to do it. Instead of coming up with something unique to say, I'm just gonna say that for now. Cameron, thanks so much for requesting this, dude. I hope you had a happy new year. Hope you didn't get too drunk, my friend. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Let me know in messages what you got for Christmas, dude, because I want to see what special naughty toys you got from Santa this year, you pervert.
Ooh.
Yeah, you sexy little pervert. He's not a little, he's an adult.
But he is underrated. And male. And an actor in the films we make together.
And a little boy.
In private. Oh, no.